Hello and hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great weekend. Welcome to Last Week in Germany, where I, some random guy, react to the top posts from the German subreddits this week and also some news stories. Make sure I'm up to date on everything. Let's do it. Germans are awesome. And then he just shows an ice cream. Did a German gift you this ice cream for free or something? Why are you saying Germans are awesome? Why is this the top voted post of the week? Oh, there is a story. Today, I had a delivery to a customer. She opened the door, grabbed the food, and asked, "Darf ich dir ein Alternative austrinken?" She asked if you were in the AFD. I said, "Ja klar, bin gespannt." Oh, an alternative tip. Okay, if a lady asked me that as a delivery driver, I would not expect an ice cream. Yes, of course, I'm excited. That was the response. Yeah, I bet, buddy. Sorry, I'm turning a very wholesome post into something nasty. Anyway, then she came back with an entire freezer drawer full of ice cream. She laughed and said, "Will ich nie wieder zu hab?" Because I no longer have a home. More literally, because I never have a home again. Wait, if she doesn't have a home, then whose house is this? I picked one smiling and told her that's 1,000 times better than cash. And it really was, probably because of her whole positive, upbeat vibe. And later I found out she tipped $3.50 online, on top of that sweet ice cream gesture. That is very wholesome. You love to hear it. Oh, someone asked, what does she mean by because I'll never be home again? Probably because I never have money at home and autocorrect. Oh, that was a great story. Good job, Germany. That does remind me I need to check the weather today for you guys. I know some of you guys check in just to check the weather. Like, have me check the weather for you, which I'm willing to do. Those of you living in Hamburg, I definitely just typed Berlin, Hamburg. That makes sense. Weather, Hamburg. 60 degrees. Ooh, it's getting a little chilly there now. Time to fire up the heaters, guys. 16 degrees. Much welcomed after the last week, huh? And it does not get above 78 next week. It's a little toasty if you don't have AC. And Berlin, 72. Oh, this is very nice. 77. Ooh, it does get up to 79 on Monday. And in Munich, it will be getting up to a steamy 81 degrees, although, like I always say, that would be stunning over here in Indiana. I'd love an 81 degree day, an 85 degree day, but I know over there, it's unbearable. But it does look like it. You'll enjoy a nice cool week this week. Hey, another positive post! You'll love to see it. This country is amazing. Thanks, Germans, for this. Half the time, this subreddit's just filled with people complaining. I came here less than a year ago as a refugee from Ukraine. My mother has been here for 3 years already and works as a nurse, so things were much easier for me. To put it briefly, life here is sweet. In Ukraine, I worked in my field of study, which I studied for 4 years, for $250 a month, and honestly, I never thought life could be any better. Because of the move, I'll have to change my profession, and for now, I work in a store. I earn close to minimum wage, but I can afford so many things. I never thought an ordinary person could live like this. Thanks to everyone involved. Isn't that interesting? The unfortunate thing about humans is you just kind of view yourself relative to everybody else around you. So it's really cool that this guy came from, apparently in Ukraine, where it was a poorer country. And so he really appreciates even just making minimum wage and what he can buy. But most people, if you grow up in Germany, I'm guessing if you make minimum wage, you feel like you can't afford anything. But it's all relative, So that's really cool. And it's good to put it into perspective sometimes. How lucky you are. Honestly, I can't remember a single serious thing I miss from Ukraine. Wow. I think I'll have to buy a German flag soon and proudly hang it from my balcony. That's interesting. It's kind of similar here in America where the immigrants are oftentimes the most patriotic ones, the ones hanging all the American flags and stuff. Probably for that very reason I just listed out. Oh man, then this dickhead had to go and ruin it by stealing someone's passport out of the mail. Why would you steal someone's passport? How much do those go for on the dark web? Someone's passport got stolen out from inside Deutsche Post. That is sick. All right, the top post on the DE subreddit this week. Netherlands bans New Year's Eve firecrackers. I don't know the relevance to Germany, but okay. It's been discussed in Germany for years, but its neighbor is already further along, and the Netherlands parliament has agreed on a firecracker ban. I don't know how I feel about this. I mean, I don't know. Obviously, if you just like view the world as just like purely logical and, you know, everything should just be, oh yeah, of course, firecrackers are dangerous and they don't do anything good for the planet or anything. So they should be banned. It's like, yeah, but they're fun, you know? Maybe as I get older, I'll become more and more in favor of banning them. But for now, I mean, I am getting older. We all are. But I think I like fireworks for right now. Even though I almost did blow myself up this weekend. And I did once live in a state here in America where they were banned. And so I've lived where they're banned. I've lived where they're not banned. And I very much prefer them to not be banned. But that's just me. Although, to be honest, I haven't read the comments yet. But if I remember correctly, because this topic comes up every year, it seems like, in the German subreddits. You guys all are massively in favor of banning them. So it's like, okay, then ban them. What's the holdup? Does anybody even support fireworks in Germany? Just ban them. Like, it shouldn't even be controversial at that point. Just ban them. Retailers here in the border region are in tears. Yeah. I'm sure some people's livelihood is, you know, endangered in some way or another by that ban. People who sold fireworks, obviously. Now in the middle of summer, didn't they know that any discussion about this can only take place from mid-December to January 2nd, when it will be ignored for another year? Firecrackers have been banned in the Netherlands for some time. So is this fake news? Don't confuse boiler with bitterballen. Dutchie here was a long time coming. The emergency services and trauma surgeons have been asking for a ban for years. More recently, the nurses union joined them, and they represent a huge number of people. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Like, and I know that a lot of you guys probably disagree with me, and that's cool. Honestly, I fully understand the other opposing argument, but to me, it's like, what are you going to do? Ban everything that's dangerous? Like, yeah, of course, a lot of people end up in the hospital. I'm sure they do. Obviously, you know, motorcyclists end up in the hospital too, a lot. So do you ban that? Do you ban skydiving? Do you ban going outside? Do you have to live in a bubble? All right. They are very, very dangerous, though. One actually malfunctioned this weekend, and I'm glad I had turned my back to it. You know, I lit it, I walked away. Usually I'll turn around and watch. This time I turned my back to it. Anyway, it didn't go up in the air. It just blew up on the ground. So, I mean, they can be very stupid. Then there's the whole aspect of, like, these damn kids that cause havoc with the fireworks in the streets of the cities and stuff. That's an aspect of it that I don't know. I've never seen that. And of course, before we move on, I did think of one more thing. The fact that you guys have universal health care. So, like, I mean, that kind of plays into it a little bit, right? Maybe a little bit more so than America, where it's like, I mean, then again, it's kind of works the same as health insurance. It kind of seems like, if you're going to be doing dangerous shit, maybe you should pay more health insurance, you know? Since I'm over here sitting on the computer all day, I'm not going to blow myself up. So why am I paying just as much for health insurance as you? Listen, interesting topics. What's something small in Germany that made you think, wow, this is actually so smart? You know what? I'm saving this one. I'm going to make a whole video about this one because this seems really interesting. Sorry. My neighbor asked me to stay quiet during the day. During the day? If I don't want him to come with an axe. Okay, this guy took being German to a dangerous level. That is messed up. He's an old German guy. I always knew he was a bit crazy, but seems like more than I expected. We have relatives staying with us for a week. You know what? The thing about crazy people is they tend to get more crazy. You know, it's pretty rare that a crazy person gets like less crazy over time. We go to bed early and never turn on any music. The neighbor knocked on Sunday because we were talking loudly in the kitchen at 5 p.m. I'm not able to fathom it. Sorry, that's a genuine cultural thing. And I'm guessing most of you are like, wow, that's ridiculous. But to be honest, I can't even fathom that. Maybe it's because our houses are further apart. How did he even hear you? Maybe you're living, I guess you're living in an apartment. How the hell do you hear someone talking in their kitchen? And you guys have like brick walls. We have little paper walls here in America, and I've never heard someone talking in their kitchen. And if I did, at 5 p.m., dude, that's, oh my God. What? That's insane. I apologized and we moved to another room? You had to move to another room in your house because of your neighbor? I just don't get it. Now he came on Monday at 4 stating the same. I said that it was... Okay, this guy is nuts, obviously, you know. I see that. This guy is freaking nuts. I said that it was not a quiet time, but still apologized and said we would be more quiet. He didn't stop and in a laughing manner said that I should stop if I didn't want him to come with an axe. My German is still not that great, so he started explaining to me what an axe is, showing the emotion. Then he asked why I wasn't coming back to my country and that Putin speaks better German than me. I smiled, wished him the best, and went back. That is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard. Okay, it is an apartment. So that at least explains how you can hear someone, I guess. You know, I think they should make an exception to the gun control in Germany. If someone threatens you with an axe, you get to have a gun for a month. For self-protection. Go to the police. That does make sense. Maybe you don't need a gun. Sounds like a threat of bodily harm to me. You don't say. Yeah, I don't think he was implying he was going to come bring an axe to peel a potato. Hint, tell the police explicitly that you fear for your safety. And then he followed up later and said, thanks everyone for the comments. I'm thinking about going to the police tomorrow and informing the landlord. I need an update to this story. Berlin on the verge of creating a gigantic car-free zone larger than Manhattan. What? A ballot measure on Wednesday in the Berlin Constitutional Court. The decision will decide a long-standing initiative by the advocacy group Ballot Measure for an Auto-Free Berlin to continue gathering signatures for a referendum to create a zone in the center of the German capital that would be free of almost all private automobiles. And the boundary would be Berlin's Ringbahn, 22 miles of railroad that circles the city center. Well, that would be freaking fascinating. I wouldn't even know what to do as an American. Hopefully what they say about riding a bike is true, because I haven't rode a bike in like 10 years. Now, I don't know if they say that in Germany. You know, they say it's like riding a bike, you know, you never forget. Once you learn, you never forget how to ride a bike. Anyway, that was interesting. Very interesting. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.